Bad starter versus bad solenoid? How to diagnose, test, and fix the right one. Your car refuses to start at the worst possible moment. You turn the key or press the start button, expecting the engine to come to life, but instead you hear a single click, maybe a rapid series of clicks, or absolutely nothing at all. Right away, that sinking feeling hits. You start wondering if it's the battery, the starter, the solenoid, or something even worse. This is where a lot of people guess wrong. They replace parts that weren't actually bad and spend hundreds of dollars fixing the wrong thing. Two of the most commonly confused parts in a no-start situation are the starter motor and the solenoid. They're usually bolted together, they rely on each other, and when one fails, the symptoms can look almost identical. But they are not the same part, and they do not fail the same way. Knowing the difference can save you time, money, and a lot of frustration. And once the diagnosis is clear, there are straightforward steps you can follow to fix or replace only what's actually bad. As the diagnosis unfolds, the exact repair steps will be covered, so the problem can be handled confidently instead of guessing. How the starting system really works. Every time the engine is started, a chain reaction happens in just a couple of seconds. The battery supplies electrical power, the ignition switch or start button sends a signal. The solenoid acts as a heavy-duty electrical gate, and the starter motor provides the mechanical force needed to turn the engine over until it runs on its own. When everything is working correctly, the solenoid engages, the starter gear meshes with the flywheel, the engine cranks, and combustion takes over. When any part of this chain fails, the entire process stops. That's why no-start problems can feel so unpredictable and stressful. Understanding what each part does makes it much easier to diagnose the failure and know what to fix next. What the solenoid does and how it fails. The solenoid is best thought of as a gatekeeper. When the key is turned or the start button is pressed, a small electrical signal flows into the solenoid. Inside, that signal creates a magnetic field that pulls a metal plunger forward. That plunger performs two jobs at the same time. First, it pushes the starter gear forward so it can mesh with the engine's flywheel. Second, it closes a pair of heavy electrical contacts that allow full battery power to flow into the starter motor. Over time, those contacts can burn, pit, or wear down from the massive current passing through them. When that happens, the solenoid may still click, but it can no longer deliver enough power to the starter. In other cases, the solenoid's internal coil can fail entirely, preventing any movement at all. What the starter motor does and how it fails. The starter motor is the muscle of the system. Once it receives power from the solenoid, it spins with enough torque to rotate the engine. Inside the starter are brushes, bearings, windings, and gears that all have to work together under heavy load. As the starter ages, brushes wear down, bearings develop resistance, internal coils can short, and gears can wear or bind. When these internal components begin to fail, the starter may crank slowly, grind, spin without engaging the engine, or stop working altogether. Starter motors usually fail gradually, which is why symptoms often get worse over time rather than all at once. Why these two parts are so often confused. Both the solenoid and the starter are involved in the same process, and both can prevent the engine from cranking. That overlap is what causes confusion. The key difference is how each failure sounds and behaves. Listening carefully to what happens when the key is turned provides some of the strongest clues. From there, simple tests can confirm the diagnosis before any parts are replaced. Symptom 1. One loud click and no crank. If the key is turned and a single loud click is heard, but the engine does not turn at all, this almost always points toward the solenoid. The click is the sound of the plunger moving, but the internal contacts are too worn or burnt to send power to the starter motor. In this situation, the starter motor never receives enough current to spin. This is one of the most common solenoid failure patterns. If this symptom matches what the vehicle is doing, the next step is testing the solenoid rather than replacing the starter right away. Symptom 2. Rapid clicking sounds. Rapid clicking usually sounds like click, click, click in quick succession. This happens when the solenoid is repeatedly engaging and disengaging, but the starter motor is not turning the engine. If the battery is weak, this sound can appear as well, so the battery must always be checked first. If the battery is healthy and fully charged, rapid clicking often indicates a failing starter motor that cannot draw enough current to spin properly. This symptom causes a lot of misdiagnosis, which is why confirming battery health is critical before moving forward. Symptom 3. No sound at all. When the key is turned and nothing happens, no click, no crank, no sound, this often points to a solenoid that never energizes. This can be caused by a failed solenoid coil, a broken signal wire, a bad ignition switch, or a starter relay issue. Before assuming the solenoid is bad, fuses, relays, battery connections, and grounds must be checked. Once those are confirmed good, a silent no start strongly suggests a solenoid issue. Symptom 4. Grinding noises. Grinding noises during starting indicate a mechanical issue. This usually means the starter gear is not meshing properly with the flywheel. Worn gears, misalignment, or internal starter failure are the usual causes. Grinding is almost always related to the starter motor itself rather than the solenoid. Symptom 5. Starter spins but engine doesn't turn. If the starter motor can be heard spinning freely but the engine does not move, the one-way clutch inside the starter has failed. The motor spins, but the gear no longer transfers motion to the flywheel. This is a clear starter motor failure and requires replacement. Why diagnosis comes before repair? Because multiple failures can produce similar symptoms, testing before replacing parts is essential. The right diagnosis prevents unnecessary repairs and ensures the correct fix is applied. Once testing confirms whether the solenoid or starter is at fault, the repair or replacement process becomes straightforward. Step 1. Battery testing. The battery must always be tested first. A fully charged battery should read around 12.6 volts with the engine off. During cranking, voltage should not drop below about 9.6 volts. If the battery voltage drops too low, neither the starter nor the solenoid can function properly. Many starters are replaced unnecessarily when the real problem is a weak or failing battery. Battery terminals and ground connections should also be inspected for corrosion or looseness, as poor connections can mimic component failure. Step 2. Testing the solenoid signal wire. The solenoid has a small signal wire that activates it when the key is turned. When the key is in the start position, this wire should receive approximately 12 volts. If no voltage is present, the solenoid is not the problem. The issue lies upstream, such as a bad ignition switch, starter relay, or wiring fault. If voltage is present but the solenoid only clicks or does nothing, the solenoid itself is failing. Step 3. Testing solenoid output. The solenoid has two large terminals. One connects directly to the battery and the other connects to the starter motor. The battery terminal should always have full voltage. When the key is turned, the starter terminal should also receive full voltage. If voltage is present at the input but not at the output, the solenoid contacts are bad. If voltage is present at both terminals and the starter still does not crank, the starter motor is the problem. Step 4. The bypass test. This test bypasses the solenoid entirely. With the vehicle in park or neutral and the brake firmly applied, the two large solenoid terminals can be bridged using an insulated tool. If the starter motor spins when bypassing the solenoid, the starter is good and the solenoid is bad. If the starter does not spin at all, the starter motor itself has failed. This test produces sparks, which is normal, but safety precautions must always be followed. Deciding what needs to be fixed. Once testing is complete, the decision becomes clear. Either the solenoid has failed, the starter motor has failed, or another part of the starting system is causing the issue. Only after this point should repairs begin. How to fix or replace a failed solenoid. On some vehicles, the solenoid can be replaced separately. On others, it is built into the starter assembly and requires replacing the entire unit. Before starting any repair, the battery must be disconnected to prevent electrical damage or injury. If the solenoid is separate, the wiring must be labeled or photographed before removal. Bolts are removed, the solenoid is replaced, and connections are reinstalled exactly as they were. If the solenoid is part of the starter assembly, the entire starter must be removed and replaced. How to replace a starter motor. Starter motor replacement varies by vehicle, but the basic steps are consistent. The battery is disconnected first. Any heat shields or covers are removed. Electrical connections are labeled and disconnected. Mounting bolts are removed while supporting the starter to prevent it from falling. Once removed, the new starter should be compared to the old one to ensure correct fitment. Installing the new starter is the reverse of removal, making sure all bolts are tight and wiring is secure. On older vehicles, starter shims may be required to ensure proper gear alignment. Bench testing before installation. Whenever possible, bench testing the starter before installation can prevent wasted effort. Many parts stores will test starters and solenoids for free. A starter that fails a bench test should never be installed. After installation, the battery is reconnected and the vehicle is started. The engine should crank smoothly without hesitation, grinding, or unusual noises. It's normal for a new starter to sound slightly different at first. Any harsh noises or repeated failures should be investigated immediately. Starter systems last longer when the battery is kept healthy, connections are clean, and grounds are solid. Corrosion and loose cables add resistance and increase wear on both the solenoid and starter. Short trips and frequent starts also shorten starter life. Maintaining the electrical system reduces stress and extends component lifespan. A single loud click usually points to a solenoid problem. Rapid clicking often indicates a weak battery or failing starter. Grinding and free-spinning noises almost always mean starter failure. Testing before replacing parts saves money and prevents unnecessary repairs. Once diagnosed correctly, both solenoid and starter repairs are manageable with basic tools and careful steps. With the right approach, no-start problems become predictable instead of stressful, and repairs become straightforward instead of expensive. Now, if this video helped you, don't forget to check out this other video here, where we discuss the signs and symptoms of a bad torque converter versus those of a bad transmission. The link will be in the description box of this video and in the end screen here.